There's a harsh truth most men don't want to face. Not every woman is worth your time. Some women bring peace, loyalty, and genuine love into your life. Others, they drain you, manipulate you, and slowly turn your life into a disaster. And here's the dangerous part. Low-value women don't always look low value at first. They can be beautiful, charming, and even make you feel like the luckiest man alive until the mask falls off. So how do you protect yourself? How do you spot the warning signs before it's too late? In this video, we're breaking down the 6 biggest signs of a low-value woman. The kind of woman you should run from, not chase. Let's get into it. Sign 1. She thrives on drama and chaos. A low-value woman can't survive without chaos. It's like oxygen to her. If there's no drama, she'll create it. If there's peace, she'll find a way to disrupt it. Why? Because peace makes her feel irrelevant. She's the type who picks fights over nothing. She misinterprets your words on purpose, accuses you of things you didn't do, or suddenly goes cold just to see you panic. And the worst part, she enjoys it. You ever met a woman who constantly says things like, "I just love a little drama in my life. If there's no passion, it's boring. I can't stand guys who are too nice." That's your red flag right there. A high-value woman values peace, stability, and emotional security. But a low-value woman she thrives in toxicity. She'll start fights, manipulate your emotions, and pull you into a cycle where you're always walking on eggshells, trying to keep her happy. But here's what she doesn't expect: you walking away. The moment you refuse to play her game, she'll either try harder to manipulate you or disappear entirely. Either way, you win, because a woman like that is never worth the battle. Sign number 2, she seeks validation from everyone. Here's a harsh truth. A woman who constantly craves external validation will never be satisfied. You could tell her she's beautiful 1,000 times. You could show up for her support, and treat her like a queen. But it won't be enough, because deep down she needs attention from everyone. How do you spot this? Look at her social media. Does she post thirst traps regularly? Is she obsessed with getting likes, comments, and DMs? Does she subtly bring up how so many guys hit on her? This type of woman isn't looking for a relationship. She's looking for an audience. She'll keep one foot in the relationship while dangling herself in front of other men for attention. And when you call her out, she'll say things like, "I can't help it if guys find me attractive. You're just insecure. It's just Instagram." Chill. No, it's not just Instagram. It's a sign that she values attention over loyalty. A high-value woman doesn't need a crowd cheering her on. She doesn't post for strangers. She focuses on the man she's with. So if you notice a woman constantly seeking outside validation, don't waste your time, because you'll never be enough for someone who needs the whole world's approval. Sign 3. She has zero accountability. Ever dealt with a woman who can never admit she's wrong? That's a classic sign of a low-value mindset. She makes mistakes. She lies. She starts problems. But somehow it's always someone else's fault. She gets caught cheating. "Well, you weren't giving me enough attention." She disrespects you. "You made me mad." She's always broke. "It's because of the economy, my ex, my parents never, my bad decisions." You see the pattern. She's never responsible for anything. A high-value woman, she owns up to her mistakes. She understands that growth requires self-reflection. But a low-value woman, she blames everyone but herself. And here's the danger. If you stay with a woman like this, she will drain you emotionally, financially, and mentally. Why? Because the moment things go wrong, you'll always be the scapegoat. The best way to handle a woman like this: walk away. No arguments, no explanations, just leave. Because the truth is, you can't fix someone who refuses to look in the mirror. Sign 4. She uses emotional manipulation to control you. Ever felt like a woman was pushing all the right buttons to make you feel guilty, even when you knew you did nothing wrong? That's not an accident. It's emotional manipulation, and it's one of the biggest red flags of a low V-value woman. Here's the scary part. It's not always obvious. Some women manipulate in aggressive ways, yelling, crying, making dramatic threats. Others, they do it subtly. They withdraw affection, give you the silent treatment, or act hurt over the smallest things just to keep you in a state of guilt and obligation. They say things like, "I guess you don't love me as much as I thought. If you really cared about me, you'd do this for me." Wow, I didn't expect you to be so selfish. Sound familiar? This is how a low-value woman maintains control. She doesn't inspire loyalty through respect. She forces it through guilt. Here's an example. Let's say you had plans to hang out with your friends on Saturday. You told her about it in advance, and she seemed fine. But on the day of, she suddenly gets moody, distant, and starts acting upset for no reason. You ask her what's wrong, and she sighs, saying, "It's nothing. Just go have fun. I'll be fine." But her tone, her body language, it's screaming at you to stay. And now, instead of enjoying your time with your friends, you feel guilty. You feel like a bad boyfriend, a bad man, like you're doing something wrong even though you're not. This is a test. A high-value man will recognize the manipulation and stand his ground. But if you give in, if you cancel your plans and stay to make her feel better, you just taught her something dangerous. She can control you with guilt. And trust me, she won't stop. The solution, call it out. If she's acting upset but won't communicate, say, "If something is bothering you, let's talk about it, but I'm not going to play guessing games." If she refuses to talk and keeps acting distant, don't chase "go live your life." A high V-value woman won't try to control you. She'll respect your independence. But a low-value woman, she'll keep testing you until you prove you're weak. Sign 5, she has no long-term vision, just short-term thrills. A high-value woman thinks ahead. She values her future, her stability, and the kind of man she chooses to build with. But a low-value woman, she's only focused on right now. She doesn't care about growth, discipline, or planning for the future. She's impulsive, reckless, and constantly chasing short-term pleasure over long-term success. You can see this in the way she spends money irresponsibly, always broke but still shopping, jumps from job to job, never commits to anything, parties constantly but has no real goals in life, blames everyone else for her situation instead of improving herself. And guess what? If she doesn't have long-term discipline for herself, she won't have it for your relationship either. Here's an example. You meet a woman who's fun, spontaneous, and always down for a good time. At first, it's exciting. She makes life feel like an adventure, but after a while, you start to notice something. She's always broke. She's constantly complaining about money, but she refuses to budget or plan. She spends every weekend clubbing, shopping, or going on expensive trips. And when you suggest saving up for something meaningful, she rolls her eyes and says, "You only live once." See the problem? A woman like this isn't thinking about building a future. She's living in the moment. And if you get serious with her, guess who's going to carry the financial burden? You sign number 6. She doesn't respect masculinity. She competes with it. A high V-value woman admires and respects a strong man. She doesn't see his confidence as a threat. She sees it as attractive. But a low-value woman, she competes with masculinity instead of complementing it. She wants to argue, dominate, and prove that she's just as strong as any man. And while confidence is great, this is something different. She won't let you lead. She constantly questions your decisions, undermines your authority, and tries to control the dynamic. Not because she wants equality, but because she wants power. If you say, "I'll handle it," she says, "I don't need you to handle anything." If you try to take the lead, she pushes back aggressively. If you assert yourself, she calls you controlling or toxic. Sound familiar? This kind of woman will never let you be the man in the relationship, because deep down she doesn't respect men. She resents them. Maybe it's because of bad past relationships. Maybe she was raised to believe that men and women should be in competition, not in harmony. But whatever the reason, here's what you need to know. You can't fix this. A woman who constantly challenges, belittles, or disrespects your masculinity is not a woman you can build a healthy relationship with. You need a woman who appreciates strong masculinity, not one who fights against it. Because here's the truth. A high-value woman doesn't compete with a man. She supports him, and together they create something stronger than either could alone. If you feel like a woman is always challenging you, questioning you, or trying to prove she's stronger than you, walk away, because you don't need a rival. You need a partner. We've just gone through 6 major signs of a low-value woman, and if you recognize these traits in someone you're dating, it's time to reevaluate. The wrong woman will destroy your peace, drain your energy, and make you question your worth. The right woman, she'll inspire you to be even greater. So here's the question. Are you choosing peace or are you choosing chaos? If you're ready for more insights on relationships, self-mastery, and the psychology of attraction, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay strong, stay sharp, and never settle.